This weapon is your life.
Each culture has to have its own kind of weapon, which reflects the ideology of that particular culture and what they think about and the way they do things. And so you end up with a very large variety of different kinds of weapons that exist in this fantasy world. Drama is conflict. Conflict means violence of one kind or another, something that we live with and something that we should be familiar with since it's part of our daily life.
This will be a hand pistol. So there's the size of a hand pistol, so as you can see they've got rather large hands.
And the next step will be to make a 3D mock-up of that and then progress from there to the final prop.
Because Star Wars is such a... nobody's supposed to know about what we're up to. Basically, we literally have to make everything in-house. You know, there's a lot of us that want to get it right.
This one, it was sculpted by one of the sculptors downstairs. That's the organic look to it. One of these was made, again approved by George Lucas, and then we've produced 6 or 7 of them.
We started off with that to get a size. So there's your handle being started to work on.
The gun has always signified modern society and modern weaponry and sort of the more impersonal kinds of fighting, which is personified by the droids. And the clones, ultimately.
So that's what you end up with. You unscrew that, take it out, and there you have it, a gun.
So here is a very, very light one made of just light resin that they can fling around. It's not particularly strong.
This is a foam one. Actually, because I'll show you that. No, don't. Yeah, like that, it just snaps. You didn't make that very well, did you?
Here's a heavier, tougher version. Made of resin, and I think somewhere around here there's a rubbery version for stunts. So when they're flying through the air or whatever they're doing, they'll carry a rubber version of the guns, so just so they don't hurt themselves.
General Grievous's droid gun.
Right.
I mean, there's another possibility of a droid clone pistol. It's like an exhibition. You know, we lay everything out that we've made. I mean, I've got a runner downstairs and made a beautiful gun. And that's one of the guns that were chosen by George, Good.
I like that. Very nice.
Wookiee handgun. It's just literally one-handed. We've got the bigger version for...
Oh, that's right. I'm not a Wookiee.
He's so big. I'm in awe of him as a director. I think he's fantastic, because he's just he's a great guy, and he appreciates the work you do.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant. Looks great.
The boys get a chance to actually be more creative, which is great. It's boys and their toys, what can I say? And what's your name?
Brad.
That's Brad.
Now here, it's kind of about the pole having an energy beam in the middle of it that could block lightsabers.
Well, yeah, I'll show you how that works.
Okay.
You had to think up something that you could fight with a laser sword that we haven't done before, but it wasn't a laser sword. And so I came up with these staffs that are electric staffs that laser sword can't cut through. Here. There's a ball on the end here, and then the beam goes along here between it. If you got a laser sword that'll cut through anything and do anything, then you're sort of stuck. It's like Superman. Superman without kryptonite wouldn't work.
General Grievous bodyguard staff, which electrifies in the film, and basically is the only weapon that can't be destroyed by a lightsaber.
The lightsaber has always been there to signify a more romantic time when there was more honor and more virtue in hand-to-hand combat.
If Obi-Wan were to go up for stills, he may take this one, and it would be a close approximation of the hero that he wears on his belt. Whereas when he's fighting, this is Ewan's favourite lightsaber. He's very particular. This is the one he's used pretty much through the whole show. There's everything I need to supply them with all their fighting needs, basically.
So there's your lightsaber inside. Wow. So you pour your resin in, wait for it to dry, and you pull it out, and it's done. And you'll end up with something like that.
After that, it either gets painted or plated. It's fantastic what we've been able to achieve on this film in the type of products that we can now chrome plate, which we couldn't even do on Attack of the Clones. So now we can actually chrome plate rubber So this is actually a stunt saber, and it's a rubberized chrome version. So, yeah, pretty impressive stuff.
So this is the one that Alec Guinness had, basically?
Yes.
So this is basically Luke's.
Yes.
Anakin Luke.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Darth Vader.
That's Darth Vader's.
Okay. So all I have to do is get rid of this one somehow.
Yeah.
Your father's lightsaber. This is the weapon of a Jedi Knight. Not as clumsy or random as a blaster. An elegant weapon, but a more civilized age.
The greatest thing about the story of Episode 3 is it fills in that void that we've all missed about what was going to happen. I mean, this is what makes the whole 6 films come together.
I see you have constructed a new lightsaber.
Thank you very
You
much.
guys get all the toys. As we go along in each picture, we are learning more and more of how to shoot with digital technology. And action. It gets better and better every time we go to shoot a picture.
The advances have been phenomenal. There's a monitor on the camera there, which is static. There's a monitor on the crane. There are all these monitors scattered all over the place.
We have what they call the video village here, these big plasma screens. Every time we move to a different set, they set them up for George, and there's sort of little theater of people out in front of it, and I'm one of the people that sits back there, and it's great for me.
What he's seeing is what you will see when you see the movie.
Thank you, Captain.
Rest well, my lady.
Seeing a larger size image is much more helpful because you can see detail.
Not only is it just to see the camera angle and see what's seen and what's not seen, it's also from a cosmetic standpoint with C-3PO, even with R2, the reflections that you'd see and what you can get rid of.
Also, the other thing that's becoming much more common is we shoot 2 cameras on Star Wars every day, all day long.
Film cameras, of course, have had video taps for a while, but they tend to be black and white, and they tend to be on small monitors that only the director, who has to hunker over them, is staring into. If we were looking at a black and white image that big, we would miss all kinds of things that we see when it's this big and it's full color and high resolution. It's fantastic.
It's just fascinating to know that you're working with somebody who's at the cutting edge, who's pushing that envelope.
We're a little ad for plasma TVs here. But
I'm envious.
But it's great because everybody gets to see, you know, all the makeup people, they can see whether there's something wrong. They can actually see it and go and fix it.
Every time we were looking at the screens, we could see all the imperfections, and we would fly up and, you know, as I say, sometimes get the scissors out, clip off, or a bit more product, and that's what it's all about.
So, you want me to try the other camera in there? Okay, stand by. Video assist is a really cool job because you get to run around with a whole bunch of fun gear, and then we record the takes and we play them back and people analyse them.
That was great.
And it becomes a bit of an information management game.
Action!
They might go through a doorway, and then next week we'll film the other side of the doorway. So everybody will be asking me, get that stuff up we did last week so we can see who came first through the doorway. And I'll have to find the shot and get it up.
Up. Wrong door. Cut.